Hey Frazer, Claire Harrison coming here, group in the inner circle, and my question to you is about being introverted. So one of your personality traits that you talk about quite openly is being quite introverted when you started network marketing. How did you get around this, and how did you find your way of getting out to your audience?
Hey Claire, thanks so much for that message. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite questions to ask because it helps so many people. Because a lot of people who are introverted, they really think they can't succeed in network marketing. And it's funny, when I was growing up, the reason why I said no to network marketing for 4 years is because I thought you had to be extroverted to succeed. My dad is massively extroverted. All the people who are in his team who were successful, they were massively extroverted as well. And I saw that and I thought, okay, if I've got to be crazy in front of a room, if I've got to draw, the compensation plan like a crazy person, I've got to be loud, I've got to be the life and soul of the party, I'm not going to win. But you know what? Since the introduction of social media, it's changed a lot. And actually, there are a lot of introverts who are winning big time now. So the key to how I got from I didn't become an extrovert, I became a situational extrovert. So for example, if it's me and a few people, I'm usually quite quiet. If it's me and a big group of people, I'm usually quite quiet. However, if it's business based and I've got to speak on stage or speak on a live, then I'm usually louder, crazier, bolder, full of energy, just give. But when I get back to the hotel room or I get back home, I literally just crash and I'm like, wow, that took so much out of me. So how did I do it? Live streaming video was how I completely changed. There was an app that was called Periscope that came, and this is one of the reasons really, but Periscope came and I just thought, you know what? If I can just get my energy up on live video, I'll start there. If I'm not good or people don't like it, they'll just say to me in the comments, this is rubbish, right? Whereas if I try and do it on stage, I'll feel uncomfortable. I won't feel legit. I won't feel authentic. And, it's not going to get me very far. So I started going live video on Periscope. I had no followers. No one was following me. I had a few people check my stuff out. And I just started to grow. I wasn't paying attention to the comments. I wasn't paying attention to the number of likes. I wasn't paying attention to the number of hearts I was getting. But I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And I remember having a breakthrough. I remember speaking at the company I was a part of at the time at their event, and I was one of the last speakers on, and one of the speakers who were after me was late and couldn't actually speak, so I had to drag my bit on for about 10 minutes, and the countdown timer increased by 10 minutes, and I got the note kind of little said on the screen like, hey, you got 10 minutes, go. I didn't know what to do. And I was a second top income earner in the company. My dad was the top income earner at the time, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to share a story. But before that, I wasn't a great speaker. I was someone who would have like 50 slides. I would look behind me like, oh, and that slide, and I would read what's on the slides to people as a presentation. I wouldn't stand away from the podium. It was awful, monotone, boring. And you know what? I shared a very, very vulnerable story of mine to the audience. And after I spoke, I got my first ever legitimate, real standing ovation. There's two types of standing ovations. There's the one where people stand up to clap you off as like just a polite thing. There's the second one where people are literally throwing their chairs behind you, springing to their feet, celebrating like that was unbelievable, breakthrough, changed my life, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I got. That's what I got by being me and being comfortable to share my vulnerability and my authenticity of who I was. And although I'm still introverted, in some situations I sound introverted, come across introverted, I was comfortable telling stories that I knew I had to tell in order to impact people on a higher level. And because of that, I started to do it more. I was more comfortable with it. I was more real with it. I was more authentic with it. And as a result, I started to be a little bit more crazy. And I believe that although you might be introverted in front of others, chances are if you're in your family, whether it's you, your partner, and your kids, or you, your partner, and the rest of your family, or just you and the rest of your family, you're usually 100% yourself, whether that's introverted or extroverted. So go ahead and try it. Try the live video and try and do a talk on something open, authentic, and vulnerable on Zoom to your team or on stage in front of your team at a company event, team event, whatever. And trust me, it will be the pivotal moment in your career when it comes to your introversy versus extroversy. All right? Appreciate you, and I'll catch you in a bit.